What were the hill fights at the Battle of Khe Sanh? Have you ever wondered what really happened during the hill fights at the Battle of Khe Sanh? These intense engagements were a significant part of the Vietnam War. They took place between the United States Marines and the People's Army of Vietnam, specifically the 325 degrees Celsius Division. The battles unfolded in April and May of 1967, primarily on several hill masses located north and west of the Khe Sanh combat base in northwest Quang Tri Province, close to the border with Laos. The fighting kicked off on April 24, 1967, starting with the initial clash on Hill 161. The United States Marines, particularly the 2nd and 3rd Battalions of the 3rd Marine Regiment, faced off against North Vietnamese forces who had taken control of these strategic hills. The goal of the North Vietnamese was to draw United States forces away from populated areas and into remote regions. This was part of their larger plan for the Tet Offensive, which was set to launch in early 1968. After the battle on Hill 161, the combat shifted to Hill 181 South and Hill 181 North. The Marines encountered fierce resistance as they fought to reclaim these vital positions. The battles were marked by close-quarters combat, challenging mountainous terrain, and heavy casualties on both sides. The losses for the Marines were significant, with dozens killed and many more wounded. The North Vietnamese also suffered high casualties during these engagements. The hill fights showcased the North Vietnamese soldiers' skill in concealment and fortification. Their determination to hold the key terrain was evident throughout the battles. The Marines relied heavily on close air support and coordinated artillery fire. These tactics were essential in preventing the North Vietnamese from overrunning the hills and threatening the Khe Sanh base itself. Although the hill fights are often overshadowed by the later and more famous siege of Khe Sanh in 1968, they were among the deadliest battles of the war up to that point. They highlighted the challenges of fighting in rugged terrain against a well-prepared enemy. Controlling the high ground around Khe Sanh was strategically important. These battles also illustrated the difficulties faced by United States forces in maintaining isolated outposts in hostile territory. The hill fights were a tactical contest between United States forces and the North Vietnamese in the border regions. The North Vietnamese aimed to fix United States forces in remote areas, weakening American influence and preparing for major offensives. For the United States Marines, the hill fights tested their combat effectiveness and resilience in a challenging environment. They foreshadowed the prolonged and costly battles that would define the Khe Sanh campaign. The hill fights emphasized the critical role of air power and artillery in supporting ground troops in difficult terrain. They also highlighted the importance of intelligence and terrain control in countering enemy movements. In practical terms, the hill fights influenced subsequent military decisions regarding the defense and eventual evacuation of Khe Sanh. They reflected the evolving nature of the conflict in Vietnam and the ongoing struggle for control in this critical region.